What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another stream for Dragon Ball Super, this time episode 129. And this is our instant review, and this is Zero Signal DBS, and I have the pleasure to be joined by the one and only magician, Dargroth. Dude, how's it going?
Pretty great, man. Pretty great. How about yourself?
Yeah, dude. All good, man. What we do here is we obviously have just seen the episode. It's been 2 weeks, 2 full weeks with no Dragon Ball Super, and we've only got 2 episodes left after this. So we really have to savor these moments. But for now, we're just going to talk a little bit about what exactly happened in this week's episode. We'll try and break it down, look at the translations, and we'll look ahead to next week's episode. And of course, we'll be taking questions from you guys and responding to your theories and your comments as to what happened in the episode. But dude, do you want to kick us off with your initial thoughts and impression of the episode as a whole?
Okay, so yeah, it was more or less what I was kind of expecting to happen. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It was quite exciting. It was mainly, I felt that overall it was a bit of a build-up to the next week's episode. We got to see a lot of action between Goku and Jiren, which is something that a lot of people have been excited about. I suppose we haven't seen much of the Ultra Instinct yet, which I suppose we recently discovered that it's unmastered, right? And I think a lot of people tuning into this episode waiting to see the new mastered Ultra Instinct happen. So yeah, it was pretty exciting stuff. The animation was great. I think. What are your thoughts on it? I mean,
Yeah, dude, I really enjoyed it. It definitely felt like the whole way through the episode was just one big build-up. Like at the start of the episode, we had Goku and Jiren, and they were kind of duking it out together. And it was cut into the bleachers, and you had the likes of Krillin and Piccolo, and those guys kind of talking and surmising what exactly was going on. And it just felt like the whole episode was one big build-up, and that was kind of a theme throughout the whole episode. Just them two punching the crap out of each other whilst everybody else talks. And like you said just before we came online, it was almost like Goku was in slow motion doing like this at the episode, whilst Krillin screams from the sides in support. But there was some really good moments, dude. So what was your standout moment in the episode?
okay. Well, I suppose it was towards the end for me. I don't feel we should go there yet. I think
No.
yeah, because we'd be skipping. There's a lot of stuff that happened before it, I suppose.
All right, dude. Well, do you want to give us a bit of a run through of what happened towards the beginning of the episode? So for anybody who's not watched it yet, you could tell them what happened.
Yeah, sure. Well, I suppose it started off with Whis was telling everybody in the stands about more details about what happens with Ultra Instinct. What he knows about it, and I suppose then we see Goku and Jiren charge at each other. As soon as they make contact, the arena explodes. So it's pretty epic. Goku fires Kamehameha. Jiren.
I don't know why I'm laughing, dude. I don't know why I'm laughing. Sorry, you laughed before.
You're laughing at the corner of my eye, and yeah.
Okay. Right, back to you.
Yeah,
back to you.
It's Goku and Jiren having a big fist fight. You're laughing at me again, dude.
Well, all right, dude. So they're having a fist fight, yeah. Then what happens?
Okay, so Belmod's basically feeling he's looking a bit smug. Belmod's looking a bit smug. He's talking about how Goku doesn't have a chance against Jiren, and Vegeta then stands up at this point and gives this big speech about Saiyan pride and how they're all wrong in not having the they're all wrong about Goku, basically, because
he basically said,
he talks
"What
about
the fuck are you on about? Sit down. We're fucking Saiyans, baby. We're Saiyans."
Yeah, he talks about all the accomplishments the Saiyans have had so far in the tournament, which is a good point. I think a lot of them improved massively in that short space of time. I suppose he even convinces Belmont in the end, because Belmont starts to look worried, and he fires orders towards Jiren to basically eliminate Goku right now before the time runs out. So I suppose deep down, Belmont does know that Goku's quite a threat to them at this point, not just for time, but he knows he's a very powerful opponent for Jiren. Vegeta's shouting out to Goku about Saiyan pride, I suppose.
And the wish as well. The wish. He's reminding Goku of the wish to Universe 6.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty much it tells him not to forget about everybody that he's made the promise to, that he's got the weight of the entire universe on his shoulders. So it's pretty heavy, but I thought it was kind of cool that Vegeta was acknowledging Goku in that way. I know it's not new, but I think it's something that happened only later in Dragon Ball Z, where Vegeta's, I suppose it was around the Buu saga, wasn't it, where Vegeta's
definitely
being a really good warrior. I think he said at the time, he admitted that Kakarot's better than he is, and I thought it was pretty cool to see that Vegeta had this faith and confidence in Goku.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. It was a really good moment.
Yeah. I think at that point, I think it went to the adverts. So, I mean, did you want to talk about what happens in the next part?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing to mention when it kicks back into the second period, I don't know what you think, dude, but for me, the moment the second section of the episode started, it felt like the animation just went like that a little bit. It felt like the second half had started with better animation. I don't know. I mean, I know they'll have different animators, they'll do different scenes and stuff like that, but it just seemed a little bit brighter. The animation was a bit crisper. And ultimately, the second half was when it really started happening. So I'll just refer to my notes. So as Goku and Jiren obviously are going at it, there's a lot more. And like I said before, this is a massive theme throughout the episode. Goku and Jiren are punching the crap out of each other, whilst Piccolo, Tien, Roshi, and Krillin are just talking a little bit about what's going on, narrating the situation to the point where Beerus actually tells them just to shut up, which I thought was quite funny. Then you just have a feeling watching it that Goku's kind of building something, and you have the overconfidence of Universe 11. Belmod, especially, he's getting a little bit cocky about the situation. And then it's Topo that realizes there's something else to be looking at. Jiren's kind of inflamed a little bit. He's throwing ki blasts on Goku. And at this point, Goku's he's in the middle of the arena, and he's got like an aura around him, which is effectively shielding him from any attack that comes from Jiren. He's powering up essentially to this new Ultra Instinct form. To the point where he unleashes this huge white ki blast, and it hits Jiren straight in like the abdomen, and Jiren literally, you can see grimacing in pain. And that's where this episode,
a cool moment when Goku released a huge white blast onto Jiren.
Yeah, and then he quickly did his fly up, and then when he kind of breaks out of this aura, and they're going at it, and Goku kind of screams out, and as he does so, it's kind of like a two-tone, almost like in like the horror films, you'll have like a low tone and high tone. So it's like a two-tone scream he's got going. Yeah, it's got going on.
Almost.
Yeah. And it appears like he almost, and I'm sure this will be explained, and this could just be me, because this is an instant review. We've literally just finished the episode. He almost kind of sucks in the energy that's around him. And obviously all the Omni Kings are both shocked. Grand Priest is saying how how impressive Goku's feats are, and then it moves to Vegeta, and Vegeta's obviously looking up at what Goku's doing, and he's got a shocked expression, but then he just kind of like stops and then has this big smile on his face. So again, second time in the episode, Vegeta's fully supporting Goku, and he maybe we'll come on to this a little bit, but I think Goku and Vegeta's relationship has just gone to a little bit of a new level, but maybe we'll come on to that in a second. But yeah, Vegeta massively supporting Goku at this point. And then it cuts to Jiren, and obviously seeing how powerful Goku's got, Jiren has this kind of look on his face, and then he just starts smiling like it's funny. And it's almost like, okay, so you've got more power, so I'm going to use more power myself. And then Jiren goes even bigger, and then we get to the climax of the episode. And dude, if you want to take the guys through the climax.
I'd happily take people through the climax. Yeah, so as you say, Jiren spots that Goku's kind of gotten more powerful and he needs to increase the power himself. I mean, it's questionable as to why he's held back this power at this point, considering how little time's left. But I suppose for the for the effect of the episode, it's useful for the writers. But yeah, anyway, I'll get on with it. So Jiren basically powers up this thing that looks a bit like a big red spirit bomb. And then he condenses it to a small blast and fires it towards Goku. Goku blocks it. Sorry. Goku basically just disappears and reappears straight behind Jiren with the attack in his hand.
We've got to say as well, dude, whilst you're saying this, at this point the music's going, you know what I mean? Like the guitar's going, the music's going, it's all going down. So, and the moment that he kind of appears, obviously his back's turned to him, just total badass at that point.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to add about the music, man. I just wanted to add about the music.
No, I know. It is that I was just thinking about the music. It's the music where we first see Ultra Instinct and Goku's fighting Jiren. I'm not going to sing it though. Anyway, Goku reappears behind Jiren with this kind of looking at this new form, this kind of silvery white form. As we know, I suppose a mastered Ultra Instinct. And he basically he holds it in his hand, the attack in his hand, the Jiren's attack, and just basically makes it vanish like it's nothing, like it's just a little bit of paper, which pretty much pisses Jiren off. And Jiren goes to kind of try and attack Goku, and it has the effect where it looks like it's just going straight through him because it's too slow. Like Goku moves away so quickly that you can't see the movement right.
Mm.
And then suddenly he gets a bit of a taste of his own medicine. He kind of gets punched so many times. You know how he did earlier with Goku, where he kind of looked at him and he appeared to just look his way and punched him so quickly you couldn't see him.
It was such a good moment. It was such a good moment. Like Goku wasn't moving, yet Jiren's like getting like fucked over. We've actually got some comments, dude. So just before you kind of finish us off, got so many sexual references. Jin Rupak Rai, what's going on, dude? Just came by to drop a comment. I don't know. Bastian Castro, hello from Chile. Hello from Chile. Hello from the U motherfucking K. Noah Paul Itty, how much time into the episode? We're talking about the episode, dude, so obviously it's happened already. The episode happened about 25 minutes ago. And Ultra Instinct Chew says, rest in peace, Jiren.
Oh, speaking a bit early there.
Speaking a bit early, but I must admit, Goku looked fucking good in this episode.
I suppose it does. It kind of brings us a bit onto that comment. Brings us a bit onto the preview for the next episode. Doesn't it?
Yeah,
because from what it looks like, from what I gathered from that, Jiren's having a really difficult time trying to handle Goku in his new form. I mean, he's for whatever reason his shirt's vanished. So
shit's going down.
I don't know if it's he's ripped it off, he's powered up, or if a blast has disintegrated it. Sure. But it just looks damaged and out of breath. Like it's quite a sight, really. And so yeah, I think this episode, as I say, is a build up to the next one, and I think again it's going to be it's drawing to the conclusion, isn't it? Now it's not. It's getting to the end, and I think at this point I feel that I'm still convinced the time will run out. I think there's been too much hype being built up about Jiren at this point that Goku's just going to power up like that and then get rid of him within a couple of episodes. I think it still might be pretty equal. Jiren will have something else up his sleeve. Unless you think differently, dude.
Well, I don't know about having something up his sleeve, dude, because from the next episode preview, he's naked. He's literally got nothing
Naked
on.
is a duo consisting of Agnes Griskovska and Alexander Johnston. Their work engages with noise, industrial, experimental, and extreme forms of electronic music.
There you go. New information coming live, courtesy of Alexa. Alexa, shut the fuck up. Sorry, dude. What were you saying?
I was just asking what your thoughts are from what you've seen on the preview of the next week's episode.
Yeah, I mean, every single time you see a guy with his shirt off, you know shit's going real. Shit's going down. Vegeta's got his shirt off. Goku's got his shirt off, and Toppo's got his shirt off, and Toppo is still shirt off in the bleachers. Now Jiren is going to have his shirt off.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose like this episode that's just happened, it was in a way to make a metaphor. It was slow motion of Goku pulling down the zip on his trousers, just like slowly. Yeah, and got to the end of
Where are you going with this?
They got to the end of the episode, and the zipper's completely down, and he pulled the trousers down, and then we saw a preview of what's to become. And then next week's episode, it's Jiren's got his he's got his shirt off, and
right. So Goku's basically
explosions are happening out left, right, and center.
Okay, so Goku's getting his penis out, and then next week's a preview. Jiren's got his top off. Is that where we're going with it?
Well,
I mean, fucking hell, I don't know. That's hentai though, dude. That's fucking hentai.
Oh, I have no idea what that is.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, of course you don't.
We've got some more comments anyway. Someone said Super Saiyan Demons has put Jiren lol.
I must admit, Jiren, his one good moment, his one kind of badass moment in this episode was when Goku powered up and was all fucking mentally powerful, and Jiren just like laughs like, and then powers up. It's just like, it just was a badass moment from Jiren.
It was sick.
Dude, what are you drinking? Is that whiskey?
Yeah, man.
What are you drinking it from? Are you drinking it from a latte glass?
Yeah, man. Pretty much.
Because that's how we roll.
I'm just unique and quirky. That's all it is. I even have whiskey glasses, and I it's partly laziness as well that it's in the room. I don't want to go and grab it.
Fair enough. But guys, I want to hear from you guys. Obviously, we're doing a lot of talking here about the episode and our thoughts. I mean, just to kind of cover off, for me, it's very difficult to give this episode a rating because this episode was entirely a setup for next week. So this isn't an episode that you're probably going to come back and watch too many times, because essentially you've got Goku and Jiren punching each other slowly in slow motion. Obviously they're doing it fast, but in slow motion, whilst everybody in the bleachers are just talking. So the whole episode was talking, and then the last little bit was where all the action was. So it's difficult to give this a rating. But
and the people in the stands are watching, talking about it, kind of like, oh, I like the way Goku's using his power, and yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't
it? Yeah.
Whis is getting wetting himself talking about how amazing Goku is.
And that brings us on to a good point, because one of the other big talking points in this episode happens right at the end, and it's when Goku finally attains the mastered Ultra Instinct form, and Beerus, as he's watching on, says, Whis responds, yes. Beerus says, he's finally done it, hasn't he? And Whis says, yes. And then Beerus has this massive, like, maniacal laugh on, like, smile on his face, like, proper, like, grinning like a Cheshire cat. And what he's saying there is, Goku really is something, like, acknowledging what a prodigy Goku is and how he continually breaks his limits. And it just kind of covered off nicely the end of the episode to say how Goku has fully mastered the episode. So if we didn't need any more hype for next week, that was just the last little bit that we got to really set next week's episode up.
It was really cool seeing Beerus not sweating the first time. Because he always had this sweat on and looking really anxious about what's happening in the tournament, whereas I'm going to see him laughing as if to say, yeah, we've basically won it now. We're taking the trophy home, as it is. Jiren doesn't have a chance. I mean, I suppose his confidence might be a little misplaced, but I mean, how much more power-ups can happen at this point with how much time's left?
I don't think any, dude.
This will be like the top. This is Goku's limit now. This is Goku. Not on Namek, he's gone Super Saiyan the first time. It's like that's that. We're at that point. Do you know what I mean? What I'm getting at is, we're on Namek. Goku's gone Super Saiyan. It's like the place is about to blow. It's knackered basically, and we're both at full power.
Yeah. There can't be any more power-ups. There just can't. There's 2 minutes left in the Tournament of Power. Time hasn't changed. So essentially from last week, from this week, there's 2 minutes left. Don't think there was any mention of time. So we've got 2 minutes. I'm guessing that was 1 minute this episode. The next episode is going to probably conclude the Tournament of Power one way or another. So I'm guessing potentially Jiren is... We didn't see any Frieza in this episode. If there's anybody watching this who wants to know if Frieza featured in this episode, he didn't. We didn't see Frieza once.
No.
So that's very deliberate. So we know Frieza's still kicking about somewhere. We may even still have 17 somewhere. The Grand Priest said that he assumed 17 blew himself up at that moment to negate Jiren's attack, but it was never confirmed. All we do know is he's not in the bleachers. So he's either blown himself up and died, or he is actually somewhere still on the arena. We don't know. That's not been confirmed. So I wouldn't rule out that 17's not still in the arena. But Frieza, he's definitely there somewhere. We know that. But he did not feature in this episode one bit. So who knows what next week, what delights wait next week. And maybe even there's going to be a double elimination and Frieza will just be the last one standing. Who knows? I know that's the theory everybody's got. But if you guys have got any theories, then let us know and we can talk about them together. Any theories, dude?
No, I mean, I was just thinking about how realistic the idea is that both Jiren and Goku will eliminate each other, and then Frieza, or even, as you say, a trace of 17 is still left in the tournament. But we haven't seen. I don't recall seeing 17's face being. Was it by the Zeno? Was it eliminated on the pad on the god?
No.
So, because thinking if they are assuming that 17's gone, right? And
yeah, the Grand Prix said he assumes, yeah.
Right. So the rules will stand if they have like clicked the button to say he's out of the tournament, then if he's still there, I think technically it wouldn't really count.
No.
But yeah,
I think the God Pad's more for their reference.
I think we'll see Frieza next episode. I'm convinced.
Oh yeah, definitely. We've got to do.
I don't know what action Frieza would take, or I don't know the significance of that, but they can't just write him out of it, and they're not going to do that. They've got something's going to happen, and I have no idea what. Will they try and help Jiren and then fail, or? I think when I think back to my very early theory when this tournament started, I was thinking that Frieza were basically, because he'd struck some deal with another god with destruction, and he was going to like backstab them. But at this point, I think what could he really do? He's been outclassed. I think Toppo just threw him aside like a ragdoll, basically.
And he dipped one of his testicles in his mouth at the same time.
He did. He squeezed it and kind of just forced it down Vegeta's throat. Vegeta?
He did.
Frieza's, sorry.
Oh, Vegeta got a good taste of Jiren's testicles.
Oh, Jiren's, yeah. But Toppo was kind of feeding Frieza some juice.
To be fair, I think Goku jizzed on Jiren a bit tonight.
Yeah, did he? He fired such a strong blast at him, didn't he?
He did.
It really flashed him quite hard.
Just a couple of comments to pick up on, if you don't mind. We've got a comment from Boo Boo. I think he was cool. Sorry, dude. I saw your comment a little while ago. I didn't quite get a chance to acknowledge it, so I'm not sure exactly who you're referring to. We've got a comment from Lax224. Welcome back, dude. Thanks very much. Oh, I was late. My bad. Yeah, you're fucking late. You're fucking fired. But no, dude, we've just been talking a bit about the episode. I hope you've seen the episode. It was, in our view, just a big setup for next week. The whole episode from start to finish was a big, almost like, I don't watch it anymore, but WWE, I used to watch it when I was a kid. And before you'd get to like a Survivor Series or Royal Rumble type situation, you'd have all the hype where some guy would be in the ring like giving it, and the guy would come on the tannoy and or the Titantron or whatever it was, giving it large from backstage. You'd have a very brief fight, music would come on, and it would get you hyped, so you want to buy the pay-per-view. That was exactly what happened in this episode. Goku and Jiren were fighting. They were just kind of blocking each other's punches. There's actually one thing I want to come on to in a second as well. They were blocking each other's punches, and Tien, Piccolo, Krillin, everybody else was narrating to the point where Beerus actually tells them to shut up. But dude, one thing that I don't think we've commented on yet, which I do think we need to comment on for anybody who's stuck with us from the start, which I'm not sure there's been anybody, but towards the
2-4's been pretty with us for a while.
Okay, dude. But when just before Goku attains this new level, he's fighting, and obviously he's got this Ultra Instinct Omen form, so he's fighting as best as he can with Ultra Instinct. But Whis comments that he's still thinking a little bit about what he's doing. So as he's fighting Jiren, he's not fully thinking. His body isn't fully reacting on instinct. Mm-hmm. So he is thinking just a little bit about what he's doing. So what Goku's doing as he's fighting over and over again is he starts to close his eyes. And when he closes his eyes, at that point, he's fully fighting just on instinct. And we see a series of blocks. Jiren does a key blast. Goku responds and they cancel each other out. But it shows over and over again that once Goku closes his eyes, he's truly thinking, he's truly fighting purely on instinct. And it's after that Goku finally attains the new mastered state of Ultra Instinct.
Yeah. It's a good. It makes sense. It's I think it helps as well. Like he was very much pushed to the limit this episode by Jiren. You know, in that current form, it became clear that it still wasn't a match for Jiren. I suppose he'd been sapped a lot of energy up until this point. He's running on. He can't be running on much. He's running on instincts, literally. Sorry. So yeah, be interested with this new mastered form. It'd be interesting to see just how powerful it is, because it will be a difference between just relying on the defensive form. Because we saw him this episode, we saw him kind of develop this counter attack, didn't we? From the usual defensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not just defensive; it's counter attack as well now.
Yeah, and now he's going to have an offensive mode with more control, I suppose. But then, how much thought is going into it? If it's Ultra Instinct, like complete, how much? What I'm trying to get at is that a lot of the way Goku's fighting succeeds is because of the way he thinks, the way he plans his attacks, right? And so, how much of that will be relevant at this point? Because will he be relying completely on instincts that his tactics are pretty much useless, or will this form allow a good combination of both? So,
that's a good point, man. But all I could really say in response to that is just after Goku does attain that Ultra Instinct, there's been a lot of debate in the community regarding Goku's mastered Ultra Instinct form, and everyone's been talking about, does it give him an increase in power, or is it purely just a technique? And I think we got the answer to that tonight, because when Jiren smiles and powers up in response to Goku's power up, and he gets that huge spirit bomb size energy, and he condenses it into a small blast and fires it, Goku appears behind him for the first time in his mastered Ultra Instinct form, or whatever you want to call it. And he gets the ball, which we know has got a humongous amount of energy in it, and he just disintegrates it in his fingers like it's nothing. So I think we got an answer there, that Goku's new Ultra Instinct form, if you want to call it a form, I think this mastered Ultra Instinct, I do think it's a form. Before I thought it was a state of being, or just a technique, just his state of being or technique. But
it's we got a few more comments on the related to this actually. Well, I'll start off with Lax224 again. It said Frieza's still here for a reason, and we agree with that. There's going to be at least one significant action from Frieza in the next episode, probably. And below that's Jet Goku. Thank you for the comment. Good episode, but where is Frieza? So it's not just us. About Frieza. I think more and more people will be have increased curiosity about Frieza's role in the next episode. And Lax224 again said that Ultra Instinct is basically a fighting machine with the single purpose of messing shit up and not getting hit. Which is pretty accurate description from.
It is, but I always kind of went on the whenever anybody asked me what Ultra Instinct was, I would say it's a state of being, or it's a technique, but it's more than just a technique. It's something you fully encompass into yourself. But this new Ultra Instinct Ultra Instinct, where he's got this new aura, and it does kind of look like a transformation, and the power up is clearly significant because a times 20 Goku with Super Saiyan Blue would not be able to do anything. It would have been probably killed by that blast by Jiren. He wouldn't have been able just to hold it like that and disintegrate it.
No.
I mean, I know they were only using that. They were only using that as a way of demonstrating just how badass Goku is in this. I'm going to say it form, whatever. But I guess the question is more for you guys. Do you see this? Do you see Mastered Ultra Instinct as a technique, as a form, or as a state of being, or as something else? Maybe you want to let us know, because I'm not sure, and I'm not sure that it is a state of being as I thought before. What do you think, dude?
Well, I think it is. There's one reason I'm a little convinced that it's actually a form, is that we know that kind of Beerus can do it, but hasn't mastered it, but we haven't. And people have been saying, all right, why is it a transformation for Goku and not a transformation for Beerus? But then I kind of think, have we really seen Beerus use his Ultra Instinct? Because he didn't need to.
Not that we're aware of. He might have used it a couple of times in his fight with Goku, but I don't think so. He wouldn't have needed it.
Which would kind of, in a way, explain why, up until this point, like, Beerus hasn't really acknowledged Goku as being more powerful than himself.
He's got to be. He's got to be.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, when he fought him in God form, like, and he kind of, I can't remember what it was. Was it 70% of his power he went up to, or something like that?
Yeah. In Battle of Gods, in Goku's regular God form, it was 70%.
Right, but we didn't see. So 70%, right? He didn't have a chance against Beerus, but we didn't see if he wasn't using his form of unmastered Ultra Instinct. The significance of the power increase would be massive.
I see where you're going with this, dude. I see where you're going with this.
It would explain, like, the power difference between them. I know it's not related to this episode.
I know what you're saying, dude, but
let's talk about Ultra Instinct and
what Dragon Ball's what it's telling us at the moment, as far as in my opinion anyway, is that Mastered Ultra Instinct is significantly more powerful than what people were dubbing Ultra Instinct Omen. So you mastered Ultra Instinct, as kind of evidenced by Goku's just disintegrating Jiren's blast, and how Jiren kind of lunged at Goku, and Goku just kind of he just kind of went through Goku. Next minute, Jiren's kind of falling over, and the shit's getting kicked out of him, and Goku's not even moving. So, in my opinion, the Mastered Ultra Instinct is significantly more powerful. And we know from Whis, it's been stated, and I don't know whether the writers are kind of regretting this now, but they did say that Beerus has not mastered Ultra Instinct. So that begs the question, if in Battle of Gods, in regular God form, at that point, Goku was 70% of Beerus, and since then, without anything else...
It wasn't 70% of Beerus.
Okay, Beerus was using 70% of his power.
Yeah, and then Goku didn't have a chance against that 70%.
No. So that implies, though, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that implies that Beerus had another 30% to go to if he needed it. So what I'm saying is, if Goku was matching 70% of Beerus's power, then obviously since Battle of Gods, Goku was without any Ultra Instinct or anything else, just with Super Saiyan Blue, right? And then with Kaioken stacked on top, I think that alone, you've got a really strong argument that Super Saiyan Blue Goku, including Kaioken, is significantly more powerful than Beerus as it is. But then you'd have an argument to say, well, Beerus has Ultra Instinct, or he can use it a little bit. Fair enough. But now Goku's mastered Ultra Instinct, and we've seen that huge power up tonight. There surely cannot be any argument as to Beerus now being stronger than Goku, because
no, I don't think there is argument of that.
I think it's got to be.
I don't dispute that. Well, the only thing I was disputing was up until Goku found this unmastered Ultra Instinct for the first time. Up until that point, Beerus could have beaten Goku even in his Kaioken times 20 blue.
But he didn't have blue then.
No, I'm
saying.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
If he used his Ultra Instinct, his unmastered stuff, he probably would have beaten like Goku in his Super Saiyan Blue and his Kaioken. But
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
his Ultra Instinct, I think that's the point where he surpassed Beerus. Also, we've got a few more comments I want to catch up on before it gets irrelevant. We got another one from Lax224. It said that it's a combination. So he's talking about Ultra Instinct. It's a combination of ki suppression to the maximum with a different state of mind, which, when put together, could be considered a form that can be both entered and exited.
You're still there, dude? Okay, I think Robbie's going into Ultra Instinct. Let's have a look. Are you still there, dude? What's going on? Okay. I think we may have just lost Rob. But yeah, I'll just nip over to the comments myself. Hopefully Rob will rejoin us very shortly. But yeah, Lax224, thanks very much for stopping by again, and Jet Goku as well. Appreciate your comments. So I'm going to pick up from where Rob left off. So Ultra Instinct is basically a fighting machine with the single purpose of messing shit up. It's a combination of ki suppression to the max with a different state of mind. So I definitely agree with that, because you can't really... It's a different state of mind, but you have to kind of think. You've got to think completely on instinct. So you can't mentally throw punches. You've just got to kind of let your body be, haven't you? It's like Vegeta tried earlier on in the tournament. He was just getting pummeled, wasn't he? It wasn't really working out for him. But we saw tonight with Goku, he was closing his eyes as he was fighting over and over again with Jiren, kind of the same kind of moves. He closed his eyes, and it just kind of worked, didn't it? I still can't believe Goku got Ultra Instinct in less than an hour. Well, dude, I agree with that, and I don't like that. I just think it's difficult though, because you can't really say anything negative about Goku without getting fried. So all I'm going to say on that is I don't think Goku should have got the power up he's got. I think it's been rushed a little bit. People said, well, it's been... Ultra Instinct was hinted right back at the beginning of Super, and yeah, it was. Which is probably further in advance in terms of episodes than Super Saiyan was back in the Namek saga, and I accept that. It's just my opinion, though. I just think it's 2018 now, and I think, when we go back to the Namek saga, that was a long, long time ago. I just think that hopefully the writers and everything's moved on a little bit, and maybe they could plan things a little bit better. But that's just my opinion. I just think that Goku has definitely got this a bit easy. But whilst saying that, I think they've done a really good job with Vegeta in this arc. And I think Vegeta's popularity in this arc as well has grown massively. I make no bones about it. I'm a massive Vegeta fan. He's my favourite character by a long, long way. I'm a Vegeta fanboy, or whatever you want to call it. So my allegiance is always with Vegeta, but I think the way that he's been portrayed in this arc has been the family man, and someone that we saw tonight who's standing up for Saiyans, standing up for Goku, when you've got Belmod, who's berating Goku and saying, if Jiren, you can finish him off, he's nothing to you. Vegeta was the first person to stand up, turn to Belmod and say, what are you going on about? We're Saiyans. Referring to Kakarot as being a Saiyan himself, an equal, a peer, saying him, Kefla, Cabba, all of the Saiyans in the tournament. He was stating, have you not seen the improvement in 48 minutes of some of these fighters? That's way beyond anything Jiren could accomplish. And he definitely had a good point there. So, Jet Goku, thanks very much for stopping by tonight, dude. And you've just subscribed, so appreciate that. Thank you very much. Frieza can't win. I just don't understand the person's Frieza. And Frieza can't win. I don't understand the person's Frieza arc Tournament of God. Yeah, I mean, on that comment, all I would say is I don't believe Frieza can win. What we've seen in this tournament is Frieza has been battered by Dispo, he was battered by Topo, and he was destroyed by Jiren. I mean, Frieza, other than against Frost and earlier on in the tournament, he's not really done that much in this tournament of power. Not as much as he could have done. And when you consider that Frieza's Super Saiyan Blue level, he didn't do too well. And it's fair to say also that 17 probably did better than welcome back, dude. Welcome back. I can see you in the bottom corner, man.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you.
It's all right, dude. I was just saying. I've just literally been saying.
Minutes actually.
Oh yeah, you just made a bit of a noise. And...
Yeah, my connection cut. It was quite annoying.
Just a few comments, dude, that we're going through. So Relax224 and Jet Goku's just subscribed. So thanks very much for that. Of Ultra Instinct is a state of mind. Can it be shown to all Saiyans? Do you want to take that, dude? Can Ultra Instinct be shown? Do you think, Rob, Ultra Instinct can be shown to all Saiyans?
I feel like I've got very little to go on here. I suppose because on the assumption that Goku's been able to master Ultra Instinct, being a Saiyan, then it kind of makes sense because Goku can do it. Why can no other Saiyan do it, right? But it might be something else. I mean, not sure. What do you people think about it? 224 and Goku. I will say thank you for the comment. It's nice to have some interactions and people putting their points of view across. But yeah, I think it's a tricky question. We got another comment from Lax224 saying that Jeranos has a state of mind that is different. He meditates a lot. Yeah, I suppose we saw him do some meditation after he first fought Goku when Goku powered up to Ultra Instinct for the first time. And I think at that point he had said, everybody that's a threat to me is out of the tournament, so I'm going to enter in this state for the time being. I believe he was using it to recover some energy. And he probably needs to do it again soon. He won't have the time now.
Well, he won't be able to do it now, dude, because it's only him.
Yeah, unless no, I'm not even going to go down that route.
Go on, dude. It's going to involve someone getting the penis out.
No. For once, it isn't. No, I was going to say that if Frieza was deciding to attack, if Frieza wanted to attack Goku at this point, with as pointless as it would be, would Jiren take that opportunity to recharge, or would he take it?
Nah, dude, right?
I'm saying that the thought came up, but that's why I just said no. I'm not even going to go down that road. It was a thought, and then I threw it aside, basically.
I've only got one thing to say to that, dude.
What?
Bullshit. No, in all seriousness, I don't see... The only thing with Frieza and Goku is if we get to the situation, maybe next week, if Jiren is eliminated somehow by Goku and Goku's still in the in the fighting stage. Maybe he's a little bit tired. Because, I mean, let's be honest, he shouldn't have pretty much any ki left whatsoever. All this Ultra Instinct has come from absolutely nowhere. Well, it hasn't come from nowhere, but it looks like all this power has come from somewhere else, because his regular ki, he didn't have much left, did he? I mean,
No.
Vegeta threw him a little bit, didn't he? But, he's very, very low in energy. So this ki's come from somewhere else. But there's just two points, dude. There's two kind of talking points that I want to make before we finish today. And the first point I want to ask you first of all, and I want to ask the people in the comment section as well who are watching the video, is in the end of this episode, Goku looked unstoppable. Really, he had an amazing amount of energy. Jiren was seen, like for the first time, Jiren was seen getting his ass handed to him. Basically, Goku looked in Mastered Ultra Instinct looked completely unstoppable. He was attacking Jiren without seemingly moving. Jiren, he was like invisible to Jiren when Jiren tried to punch him. What does Jiren have to do or how much has Jiren got left to go? What can Jiren do next to get anywhere near Goku, in your opinion, for next week's episode?
Well, very little, right? I think it's wrong to assume that straight away that Goku in this new form's completely surpassed Jiren just because he landed a few punches on him. Because I think he's probably likeliness is he's caught him. Goku's caught Jiren by surprise.
He did almost knock him off, though, dude. He really almost knocked him off.
He almost knocked him off. He caught him by surprise. I mean, how many times has kind of Goku been caught by surprise and been basically?
Yeah, that's a good point, dude. I'll take that.
Into him because he just wasn't expecting it.
Goku would be already out if it wasn't for Frieza.
Yeah. So I think, I think the point they were making about Goku throwing these attacks at Jiren in the end was to say, look, the table is now more of an even fight. Goku isn't going to get thrown aside anymore by Jiren. This is it. This is the moment. I think the likeness is that they are pretty even. I mean, from what was the preview would suggest that Goku's destroying him in the fight, really. But they've carefully selected those clips for us. Unless the whole episode is Goku just with a straight face, showing no signs of tiredness, just blocking every one of Jiren's attacks and throwing him to the ground. Who knows? I think we'll get some spoilers soon enough.
Well, we will do. The thing as well about this is Dragon Ball's always very clever about showing us about what they show us for next week's episode. So, like you kind of were suggesting, that it could be selective what we've seen for next week.
Yeah.
And it might not be so one-sided as what the preview looks, because the end of this episode, Goku was fucking Jiren up, no doubt about it. And next week, Jiren looks... In fact, the way he's been drawn, it's a little bit like... I mean, again, this is just... We've been talking for an hour or so, and yeah, we've been talking for an hour, probably, and we've just finished watching the episode. So in that little preview, for the first time I watched it, Jiren almost looked a little bit Boo-esque to me in his like facial expressions and stuff like that. He looked desperate. So it's interesting to think about what it is, because I can't imagine after all this build-up for Jiren, Goku's just going to beat the shit out of him and that's going to be it. Surely Jiren's got something else, because when Goku powered up in this episode, Jiren just laughed and was just like, okay, then let's go. He's supremely confident. Comment from Lax224, which we should pick up on. And this kind of goes in a completely another way, but do you guys think that Jiren has got a form of Ultra Instinct? Or do you think his power, or does he have a power completely different to anything we've seen? And he's also asked, does Zeno have Ultra Instinct? Do you think that Jiren has Ultra Instinct? Dude, have you gone? I think we've lost Rob. Okay, Rob's gone. So I guess I'll answer the question. No, I don't think Zeno has Ultra Instinct. Sorry, now let me rephrase that. No, I do not think that Jiren has Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct seems to be the big thing in this series. It's been hinted and spoken about right since the beginning of Super. Ultra Instinct is a big thing in Super, and I think the fact that Jiren doesn't have it will be ultimately his downfall in this arc. But that's just my opinion. I don't believe Jiren has it. And what do you think? I'd be keen to know what you guys think, if Jiren has it or not. But I just don't think he does. I think what Jiren does have, he obviously has some different techniques he's able to do. And I don't even think we've begun to understand some of Jiren's techniques. He can certainly do some things that we've not seen before. Are you back, Rob? Are you back, dude?
I'm back.
He's back.
Sorry, my connection's just being awful for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, dude. Well, just before you decided to piss off, I was asking you whether you thought Jiren had Ultra Instinct. I had to answer the question because you decided to do legs. So, in my opinion,
let my internet disconnect. Yeah, go on.
Okay. In my opinion, I said that Jiren doesn't have Ultra Instinct, and that Super has been talking about Ultra Instinct the whole way through, and ultimately Jiren's downfall will be the fact that he doesn't have Ultra Instinct, and that Goku's managed to obtain it. But what's your opinion on that?
I can't. That's what I think. I completely agree with that.
So you don't think Jiren's got Ultra Instinct?
No. I've got.
Okay.
I've got nothing to prove that it hasn't. But it's never. He's not shown signs to me of having Ultra Instincts. When I've seen Goku fight in that form, it's like there's no expression on his face there. He's looking like he's just on autopilot. He might as well be asleep in his arms.
Just really relaxed, isn't he? He's just kind of eyes closed, like just everything's. Right. Whereas
Jiren seems much more conscious of his fighting in that state.
Yeah.
But that's why I think.
Yeah, and also, do you think Zeno has Ultra Instinct? This is an interesting one because lots of people have different opinions on this, but what do you think? Do you think Zeno has Ultra Instinct?
Oh man, I'm so curious about what Zeno would be like in a fight.
Okay, let's open it up. Let's open it up, dude. Do you think Zeno? Forget about Ultra Instinct. Do you think Zeno has fighting power, or do you think he's just a little bit like our monarch, the Queen, and he's just a person who's been given a role and has two meathead guards? Do you think Zeno has power other than the ability to erase?
I suppose not. No, I can't imagine Zeno fighting. It's seems like such an innocent child.
I guess if Zeno was incredibly powerful and had Ultra Instinct and everything else, then Zeno wouldn't really need guards, would he? Dude, if you've gone again, you actually have, haven't you?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Oh, gee, sorry, dude. You just went. But what I was saying is,
my connection just must be terrible because this time I didn't disconnect, but the YouTube video kind of froze.
Dude, it just froze, and all we saw was you completely naked, just jumping about in your boxer shorts.
It's really annoying actually because I felt I was on a roll there.
Guys, if there's anything else you want to kind of partake in, don't mind us. We're talking Dragon Ball. If you want to like jump around naked and watch something else.
If I'm still here and like my internet hasn't died again, I just want to jump in before it's a bit too late. Thank you, Lax224, for welcoming me back to the world of the living. It's a pleasure to be still part of the world of the living and be with Rick and his gang. It's good. Also, if all the angels have Ultra Instinct, how can some of them be stronger than the others? Hang on. How can they be stronger than others? Is their power scaling to Ultra? Not quite sure I understand. I'm sorry.
Dude. If all the angels have Ultra Instinct, how can some of them be stronger than others? Is their power scaling? Okay. I think
yeah.
it was hinted. I can't remember what the episode was, dude, but it was hinted that not all of the angels are on the same level. So I think what Lax is saying is, do they all have Ultra Instinct, and why is there a power scaling within the angel? Is there a ranking system within the angels?
Right. What do you think to
that? There's not much to go on, dude. Really, I don't really know. I mean, I'm guessing Whis seems to kind of think Vados is a beast. I think maybe Vados could be. Whis and Vados could be up there. I think maybe she could be even a bit more stronger than Whis, maybe.
I think like with them being angels, they're still kind of they gain more power themselves from training, right? And
yeah,
like for example, Whis has been training with Vegeta and Goku for a while. Surely he would have gained some experience himself. So like my point is that it doesn't necessarily mean they're all the same strength. They all have Ultra Instinct, and I don't think the angels just assume that Ultra Instinct form. They probably have to work for it, but I suppose they're kind of. It's been suggested that they are, in fighting terms, they are prodigies. Really, they're above the.
Well, the best, aren't they? Just like the absolute best.
So it's all natural to them. I wanted to carry on with the point I was making earlier because just before you thought I disconnected, I was talking about Zeno, and that I'm not that convinced that the most powerful being, like ever, is that little child. I think it's a child. I think there's some force above that who's basically said, you know what, I can't even be asked with this tournament of power. I'm going to give the role. I'll just give it to that kid there to do it. They can be in charge. So like it kind of suggests that there are even greater powers than that, which would also give more room to the improvement, like the power increases of the series, right? We've got this Archangel.
Yeah, but dude, how many superiors can we get? I mean, where does it end?
Well, hopefully never. Hopefully it won't end before I do.
What I mean is, we're introduced to
Super Saiyans or Dragon Ball.
But we're introduced to Zeno as being the king of all, the king of everything. That's how he's introduced.
Yeah, but we're also introduced as Frieza as being the most powerful being in the universe.
Yeah, but bearing in mind, but he was, wasn't he? Well, kind of.
We just didn't know about the characters. Like, it's just the way they work. It's like,
with the exception of Majin Buu,
someone else comes along and like whips it out, and like they're more powerful.
Yeah, with the exception of Majin Buu, who obviously has been around for, I don't know if I can't remember how many years, like thousands, millions of years. But Frieza at that point would have been the most powerful in the universe because there's nobody outside of what we know within Dragon Ball, within Universes 7's team, is there? You know, there's no Manaka.
No, but I suppose as well, like they kind of wrote into the series that Frieza was aware of Majin Buu, but was told by his father to just avoid him at all costs. So that
Right.
was the result. Yeah, but there's still. It was also mentioned. What was it? He knew about Beerus somehow.
Yeah, he did, because if you remember, it stated that it was actually Beerus that gave the order. Beerus ordered Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why would Beerus order a nobody like Frieza? Because given that Beerus's power, like Frieza at that stage in the series would be like Tien from the Cell arc. You know, that's the kind of power we're talking about. When you scale it up, we're probably on about that level. And to think that Beerus, I mean, I know sometimes we look into these things a bit too much, and it's like, you know, give the guys a break. But to think that Beerus, the Beerus-sama, would contact Frieza, the fucking, with a power level of somewhat ridiculously small at that point, to order him to do something that he could do in a split second, just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I didn't know about that. I don't.
It's like something that sometimes that they put in there, and you just think, what's all that about? Like, what's the point? What's the point in that little bit of information? Because Whis goes like this. He goes, in the Tournament of Power, Whis says, "Oh, don't, you know, wait until, you know, don't let Goku find out that it was you who gave the order to oh no, sorry, it was Vegeta. Don't let Vegeta know that it was you that gave Frieza that order to destroy the fucking planet Vegeta." But that's just,
Oh yeah. That is odd. I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can think of, and if that doesn't make much sense, is that Beerus basically, it's like, no, I can't be asked. It's like it's a 30-minute journey. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. So just who's a bit of a knobhead in that area who could do the job for us? Oh, it's Frieza. He's always like pushing stuff over and blowing up planets for a laugh. He'd love the job, right? Well, all right. Get Frieza to blow up the planet, and just say pass my thanks. I'm gonna go to sleep. Make sure there's a hot chocolate waiting for me when I get up. Something like that, you know. But it doesn't make much sense, no.
all right, dude. Well, I guess
we've got comments.
Okay.
I interrupted you, so what were you going to say?
I don't think I was going to say anything. What's the comments, dude?
Right. So it's Lax224 has been active. Thank you again. So said we must go beyond what we know. Bring an Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan 3 times 1000, which I think is funny. It's a bit of a crack. The writing. Also, what if Zeno is the god of destruction on the universes? Ooh, that's interesting.
What? Sorry, what?
What if Zeno's the god of destruction on the universe? So like, you got like a set.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Universes. So
Shit.
it's like the god of the gods of destruction, but then like
I tell you what, right?
Different Zenos and different.
I'm just gonna say this, dude. If I've not, we talk a lot of Dragon Ball, right? I've not thought of that. I've not seen that theory. If that ends up being true, then fucking hell, Lax 224 is the fucking man. If that ends up being true, because we've seen 8 of the 12 current universes. So how many? I mean, the whole thing about Dragon Ball is there's a baddie that comes to Earth, threatens something, and Goku, Vegeta, and everyone else has to kind of get them away. When you're in a situation where Goku and Vegeta have proven maybe there's more universes, and maybe stronger beings are in other universes that could still challenge the likes of Goku and Vegeta. And maybe Jiren, and maybe each universe has a Zeno. That's thinking outside the box. I like that.
Yeah, and it would also kind of suggest that. Oh, sorry, we just got a comment saying, guys, the stream got out. I think you cut out for a few seconds there.
No, not to worry.
Yeah, but like it would also suggest, like the higher power being above the Zeno, and it's because it's always been hard for me to believe that the top life force is that little thing. Yeah, it's cool. All we've seen Zeno do is destroy, not create. And there's the god of destruction, god of creation above him. It's powerful stuff.
Zeno erases. He doesn't seem to. He just erases, doesn't
he? Yeah. Got like a god pad.
Like, there's in GodTube.
GodTube.
He watches Zeno porn on GodTube.
Erase. We got another comment. Jordan Chiambini saying erase. He wants to raise. He's not happy. He's not happy with his job.
He wants to erase Jiren. Jiren's going to erase Zeno's behind.
He's too innocent to be bad. Yeah, I was talking about Zeno. Yeah.
You know what?
Seem too innocent. I think there's someone else above who's kind of saying, "Yeah, this is below me. I'm too powerful for this. I want to give it to this little shit. He's gonna act as in my place."
Fucking hell, dude.
I don't know what gender it is, but
Well, I guess it's a good time to thank everybody for coming out, and obviously not everybody stuck with us, but it's been quite a long stream, so thanks very much for coming out and supporting the channel and contributing in the way that you have tonight. Thanks very much. The other point I was going to mention that we might have to do next week was talking a little bit about Vegeta's relationship with Goku and how it's evolved to the point it is in now, where we're seeing Goku hit the new heights and Vegeta has nothing but admiration and a smile on his face for Goku, and that is something that we've not seen before. And obviously we've seen Vegeta's character change a huge amount in Super, I think for the better, and I think he's gained a lot of fans as a result of that. So what I was going to talk a little bit about is Vegeta's life with his family situation, and he's quite a personal guy. He doesn't have a lot of friends. I was going to suggest, is Goku, being his rival, is he kind of also his best friend? I know Goku's best friend's Krillin, and he's friends obviously with Piccolo. But actually, from Vegeta and everything that he stands for, is Goku Vegeta's best friend? Do you want to just share any thoughts on that, dude, before we go?
I think Yeah, I mean the friends thing is such a broad, like it's a complex word, in DBZ. Uh, what I'm trying to say is that I think if we call them friends or not, at the end of the day, that Goku is Vegeta's biggest inspiration. Like Goku is what sparks Vegeta to carry on and to keep getting stronger. Um, it was for a long time. I think I know what you're saying. Like Vegeta's like he's become a family man, and he fights a lot for his family. The Bulma, Trunks,
Also, dude, just to kind of interject,
Goku's
how
like,
close?
gone.
Sorry, how close Vegeta's family is to Goku? Like with Goten and Trunks, and it's they're quite close families.
Yeah,
Chi-Chi and Bulma.
yeah. I think I would say they are friends. They I think Goku sees Vegeta as more of a friend. Like he's aware more of the friendship than Vegeta is. Whereas Vegeta, I think deep down, he feels even stronger feelings about Goku. I think he cares.
What do you mean?
Well,
What cares more for him? You mean?
he cares a great deal about Goku. That's the reason why Goku annoys him so much.
I agree. I think I totally agree with that. Because let's be honest, if you take Goku, if you take away the situation, Goku is Vegeta's only friend in a weird way. Like he kind of tolerates other people, but he's quite set in his ways from the way he's been raised as a proud Saiyan. So what he sees in Goku as a warrior and someone who continually is his rival, and obviously Vegeta is what he's what's the word? He's constantly impressed with Goku, and he sees Goku as at least an equal in his way.
He's proud
So
of Goku. He feels a
yeah,
connection, the same connection.
yeah, the same connection, and he still calls him Kakarot as his Saiyan name, but he says Kakarot with respect rather than with disrespect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I guess the kind of where I was getting to with this was if something was to happen to Goku, like let's say Goku was erased by Zeno, and that was it. The Tournament of Power ended. Universe 7 survived, so did Universe 11, but just Goku was just erased, and that was it. How would that affect Vegeta? Because I think it would affect him. I know we're looking into this quite deeply, but I think it would affect him quite a lot because without Goku, Vegeta would just be, I mean, obviously be the strongest, but he'd lose part of himself in a weird way, I think.
yeah. Goku,
What do you think?
I think he would. He'd lose himself, be a completely different person. Because also, I suppose he wouldn't be anywhere near as powerful. Like, catching up to Goku's been main drive in his training for such a long time. I know there've been times where he's kind of trained because he's had, so for example, the threats to the androids. Trunks comes back and warns them about the androids, or the cell games, right? So there are moments where he trains to just face the threat that's happening at the time. But I think at the same time, every time this happens, back of his mind, he kind of knows that he must step up and become more powerful because Goku is more powerful, and if Goku isn't that like, I suppose Vegeta is very much more aware of the power scaling as such. So like Vegeta is aware that Goku's not going to be strong enough to fight this opponent. He'll have to train himself, and he also wants to Goku to acknowledge him as being an equal, because I think he still has this deep sense of being like the pride of being the Prince of Saiyans, and it's frustrating for him that like basically more or less a peasant of Saiyan is more powerful than him. He wants Goku deep down to kind of say, "Yeah, you are the prince," and this and that. I suppose I'm looking back on more old school Vegeta, which is
that's really good point, still, man.
There, it's deep rooted. I think still part of him is there, and I think he's matured a bit, and he respects Goku a lot more now. But I just feel there's a few. I've been reading the comments on YouTube, dude, and there's been like a conversation going on that's like separate to what we've been talking about. They're going back to the Zeno. So we've got John Campina saying he's too innocent to be bad. And then Lax224 said that's subjective. It could seem bad to people whose universes he erases. It's a fair point. We've got a response from John Campini saying, Sorry, anybody, if I'm getting your names wrong here. I'm just trying to do it quickly. So he said that DBZ makes very clear what evil is. Reply from Lax224. Evil could be seen differently, like Frieza destroying planets seems bad to Goku, but not to Beerus.
But then Beerus, who we think is a good guy, does that all the time.
Yeah, and Lax224 was going to say, I was going Bulma's cheeks. Vegeta would have a Gallic gun.
Yeah, that.
That's the Gallic gun off, and then.
Dude, Lax224, this is an open invitation, dude, and I hopefully you're still watching at the moment. But if you have a microphone and a webcam, or even if you just have a microphone, if you want to hop into a conversation with us too, maybe after next week's episode, then send us a message somehow via a comment on this video or whatever, and we can give you details on how to do that, and maybe we can have a three-way conversation rather than a two-way conversation. Just giving you that open invitation. And that goes actually to anybody else. If anyone's got strong opinions on Dragon Ball and they want to discuss it with us, then we are not shy to invite you guys onto this channel and to talk openly and frankly about what we've just seen. So
totally, it'd be great. To have more the merrier, really. Yeah, let us know somehow. Send a message on the YouTube channel. But yeah, there's more comments. Jordan Campini said that all the fighters are in the competition because they have yet to put aside evil. I would be shocked if they strayed from that point. And then and Lax224 said something. It's the last comment basically, which is something I personally feel as well, is that I hope Dragon Ball Super doesn't end. It's such a good show, even if it's plot holes. I completely agree with that. It's I think some of the plot holes can be charming in a way that it does open up like the possibility of some kind of big crazy moment, unexpected moment from happening, doesn't it?
I would say one thing though, dude. I would say one thing, and I say this from personal experience and from other YouTubers with, well, some of the biggest YouTubers in the Dragon Ball community, and this is their thoughts as well. There's various groups online for Dragon Ball fans to connect, and I must admit, they're toxic. I think the Dragon Ball community in general has gotten worse. I mean, you know, we come on here, we're just talking Dragon Ball, and, you know, we get hate. We get a lot of hate. You go on a Facebook group purely set up to talk about Dragon Ball, the series that we all know and love. You can't make an opinion about anything because everybody hates it. And, well, it's Mastar Media, the Dragon Ball YouTuber and animator. He's publicly said, he's obviously, he's got an extremely large channel, and it's his business. And Dragon Ball Super's coming to an end. So when that situation happens and you're getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views, you need to diversify. Otherwise, your channel and your livelihood is on the line. And Mastar Media is looking at other animes and he's reviewing them. And he's said publicly how the community on other animation shows is much different than Dragon Ball. So on his Dragon Ball videos, all it is in the comment section is people fighting and arguing about who's stronger, Kefla or Ultra Instinct Vegeta and Beyond, or whatever that form's going to be called. You know, Aniraza or 17. You know, it's just loads of different hit or 17. Also, so many different situations, like and theoretical fights, and you'd be amazed at the arguments that people have online and the bullying that goes on in this community, just talking about theoretical fights. It is ridiculous. So I think not to try and put a down everything, but we need to get a bit of context into this, and let's just enjoy Dragon Ball. It is an animation show that we all like. There's no need for any hate or shit, because this community over the last 6 months has gotten pretty toxic.
Sorry.
And you know, talking about the series coming back, you know, I'd love the series to come back, but I want to have a community that embraces it. You know, you can't have people talking about Dragon Ball. I mean, like, I'm just going to check. You know,
it's that comment. X24 said Goku versus Superman.
Yeah, Goku versus Superman. Well, Goku versus Superman was a good example because, and by the way, I'm a DC fan. I'm a DC fan. I'm a Marvel fan. I like all this kind of shit, and I'm sure everyone else fucking does. But I'm not going to lose my shit over it, because ultimately, sorry, dude, I know I'm going on, but just very quickly, there's so many different holes in each franchise. I mean, the plot, like Rob, earlier on, you were talking about it, and you were saying that's one of the things that's charming about Dragon Ball, how, you know, they don't get everything right. There's some glaring potholes, and you're thinking to yourself, well, how would that be able to happen? Because a few episodes ago, this was suggested, and now you're doing it. It's a little bit like Goku runs out of energy. Frieza gives him a little bit of energy. Goku then goes fucking crazy, using loads more energy, and apparently has nothing left. Jiren's meditating, and then next minute, he's fucking got loads of energy left. Vegeta does a fucking final atonement to get Topo off, no energy left. Next episode against Jiren, he's fighting in an Ultra Blue. It's just ridiculous, right? There's no there's plot holes everywhere, right? But Superman is meant to be able to fly to the sun in something like, I can't remember how many minutes it is, but his speed, it's all about feats. So in terms of speed, he should be faster than Goku. I think that's definite. He's faster than Goku.
Don't count Ultra Instinct. Not Ultra, Instant Transmission, I mean.
Yeah, but Ultra Instinct, actually, that's a good point, because that puts a right spanner in the works, doesn't it? Because that kind of would mean that it doesn't matter how fast Superman's going, if he's got Ultra Instinct and he's got his eyes closed or whatever, he's going to just know to instantly react to anything, however far in advance. But anyway, I've massively digressed. I didn't mean to go on that much about that, but
I think
just respect to the Dragon Ball commenters and people online, Facebook groups, everything else, because I've actually left the group. I was part of probably the biggest Facebook Dragon Ball group, 150,000 members. I've actually had to leave because it's bullying, basically, because you've got a few people on there who are like each other's posts, bumming each other, basically. The admins and everyone who's trying to be everyone's desperate to be an admin. And one person comments something negatively on one of their connected posts, and everybody jumps on them, and it's just it's complete bollocks. They would never do it in real life. They just do it online on Dragon Ball groups, and that's not what Dragon Ball's about. Anyway, sorry. Over to you, man.
Well, I was just going to say that I think from what Lax 224 said that he or she enjoys they enjoy the discussions. For example, the Goku versus Superman argument, and I can kind of say there's like, and then there is something that I've always enjoyed about, like their interaction of fights between characters from different series, different franchises. I do like that. There's a classic one I see quite often is this form of Naruto versus this form of Goku and stuff. And when there are some people, as you say, there are people who are assholes. There are assholes every part of the world. And they'll continue to be that way. But sometimes you do get some interesting people who are well informed. The different scenarios. So, for example, in this kind of territory, in this terrain, this character would have an advantage. I don't know. I find it quite interesting, and I think I have experienced kind of commenting on things and people just coming up replying with pretty useless comments. Kind of, for example, if you say, "Oh yeah, I said it sucked that I wish that Gohan stayed in a bit longer," for example, and then somebody would say, "Oh, if you love Gohan so much, why don't you find some Gohan hentai and start like using any tissues ever?" It's kind of funny, but it is like it's trolls, and it can be funny, but I suppose when you're that interested in engaging in actual debate about which characters are stronger and whatever it is, it could be quite annoying when people just clearly trying to wind you up and that. So I just it threw me off. Lax 224, it says I'm into Roshi hentai.
Roshi hentai. Roshi hentai. Well, that would be shit. That would be shit now because he's
Google search Roshi.
He's done like some training, so he's not attracted to girls anymore. So he's only attracted to you, dude.
Sorry, I literally Google search Roshi hentai.
Oh no! Please tell me it doesn't exist.
No, I did. I googled it. I just looked at it.
Oh god. But yeah. Well, I'm not going to be watching any Roshi hentai.
I didn't watch any. I just saw a few thumbnails.
Oh, dude, when he takes off that turtle shell. Lax 224 is into Roshi hentai. Oh, dude, unsubscribe. Dude, this is going to be like the most ridiculous. You know what? We should just do videos. We've gone way past the end of this video. We're just kind of just drinking and chatting bollocks now, really, aren't we? We should just do a discussion on Dragon Ball hentai videos. Wonder how many views we get. Yeah, dude, what was your thoughts on 17 and Chi-Chi on that hentai? Dude, what was that?
What?
Oh yeah, dude, yeah, man, that was some good hentai. It's just the new direction for the channel, dude. Reviewing hentai.
No, man, it's fine. Like I don't feel I'm qualified to review it.
What are you talking about?
Well,
what qualifications do you need, dude?
Well, I haven't seen much.
Oh, bollocks. Well, that's because 2 minutes before we came online, you had to rip off all of the frigging anime porn from the back from your wall at the back there.
I know. Well, I wish you said you wouldn't mention that, dude.
Oh, well, sorry. Secret's out. You've taken the poster of me down as well.
No, that's just you get a set of shot at the moment, but it's on the wall next to me here. And I've also made sure that the webcam's pointing to the upper half, so it's not
because
the lower half.
You're actually naked right now.
Naked, yeah.
Lax224 seems like he's yeah. So Jiren gives handies with his mind. Oh dear. That's what. Oh dude, I've heard Jiren deals a mean hand.
So fast, isn't it? You can't even see
Dude, it literally, if Jiren was gay,
it just stares at you and just like gives you like a billion miles an hour hand work.
he can make guys ejaculate in 0.5 of a second.
He could. I bet he could.
Because he slows down time. He slows down time.
He could two guys.
I love it that we're breaking down how Jiren can use his skills to give quick handies.
Oh, even four. If they had like, you think like if there's four guys, because if you had, I don't know. If you had like two either side of him.
If you just joined us, I apologise.
They'd face each other. Say, hey,
this video is getting taken down.
Tip to tip, so it's like there's four.
So Jiren's giving 4 handies.
Yeah. If there's two guys either side of him, like going tip to tip.
Like he's skiing.
Yeah, so he's just got like one. Each the two of them becomes one. So it's like
when to become one. I need some Jiren like I've never needed Jiren before. Gonna make love to you, Jiren. I've had a little Jiren. Now I'm back for more. Gonna make love to you, Jiren. Set your spirit free.
You got 17 is basically a sex spot. We've got
it's the way Jiren's gotta be.
Example, her daughter, she never gets tired.
What's this do? What's he on about now?
No, you read it.
17 is a sex bot with his concept. Her daughter, she never gets tired.
Yeah.
Are we talking about 18? I hope we're talking about 18 because I like 18. I think 18 is my favorite DBZ babe.
Or
Bulma. Or Bulma.
Bulma does well because she's kind of still in one piece, isn't she?
She's got good Bulmas.
She's got loads of Bulma. Her Bulma levels like
over 9,000.
Man. Well, we got make a funny animation with this song and Jiren making dudes jizz. yeah.
Make a funny animation.
Actually good. Like
Oh yeah, dude. Oh god, yeah. So basically, Jiren's gay. Next episode preview, he's got his top off. He's making all the. He's made the Omni Kings jizz. He's made the Grand Priest jizz. He's made Goku jizz. Oh, dude, the guitar's out, innit?
Something like that, wasn't it?
Oh, you're on about the Spice Girl song?
Yeah.
Give me your P. That's it. Baby, give me your penis.
Give me your penis. Oh, this is like that's ridiculous. Like,
give us the chorus.
Super like discussion.
If anyone's managed to get to this stage, then they must have drunk more than us. So what's the chorus? Like, dude, you do the chorus. I'll sing the Jiren song. I need some love. Some love like I never needed love before. Gonna ski with Jiren's penis. Now I'm back for more. Gonna ski with Jiren's penis. Spirit free. It's the only way to be.
I need to work at the top of my head. I'm also I
Oh,
should be playing
dude.
on this because it's like the person below me is going to kill me. It's like have to.
All right. All right.
Sorry to kill the mood. But yeah, it is a good idea to make a video, dude, because you know your voiceovers quite well. You should sing it in that that voice you do. You know the I can't do it.
I need some love like I'm gonna ski with Jiren's penis.
That one.
Gonna make love to
Jiren's penis. Thing is, Jiren would absolutely rip you a new one. It'd literally be penetrating every orifice before you've even got a chance to respond. You'd be like, and you try and like get him off you, and then he'd use his eyes to deflect you.
He just stare.
He'd be knobbing your
Stare at you and like blast you off the stage with a slap.
He'd be knobbing your nostrils, dude. He'd be knobbing your nostrils.
Yeah, man.
Can you imagine Jiren knobbing Goku's nostrils?
Goku, I'm knobbing your nostrils.
Gonna fucking knob your nostrils.
To knob your... Let your nostrils free, 'cause they're gonna stretch to me.
I don't fucking care if you're ultra instinct. I'm gonna penetrate you with my ultra instinct penis. You can't relieve this. I'm gonna penetrate your nostrils. I'm gonna lubricate your brown eye. You can't take this. Oh.
Welcome to the late hour with zero signal.
I don't even think Lax is with us anymore. This is looking...
Jiren, I like the way you look at me when your eyes glimmer. I feel it inside of me.
I don't know, dude.
Jiren, I like the way you look at me when your eyes glimmer. I feel it inside of me. I feel it inside of me.
You're making me moist and I love it. I'm gonna put your dick up my duvet and I'm gonna... Oh, I can't even be asked. I can't even sing this shit anymore.
And then we start it. I can't do it. It's killing me, man. No, that I kind of stole that line because that was a comment from Lax224. He said, "Jiren, I like the way you look at me when your eyes glimmer. I feel it inside." I just imagined it was like an input to the lyrical genius that's been going on from you. It was very much appreciated.
Jiren, you look more sexy than before when you were shafting Lax224, baby, yeah. So sexy. I don't know.
Oh man, like
Jiren, you've got such sexy pecs when you were flexing with Lax224. I don't know. Jiren, I like the way you look at me when your eyes glimmer. I feel you inside of me. Ah, dear. Right, I'm not gonna lie. I'm desperate for a piss. So
we should wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very informative chat, and we started normal. We started like trying to be informative about what happened in the episode, and we've ended on Well, I don't even know what it's ended. I'd say bye to everybody, but I think there's probably only Lax224 here. So thanks, dude, for stopping on by, and for anybody else who commented. We had a decent start to the. To be fair,
assuming, yeah. Wait, Lax, are you?
We had a load of videos.
Are you a dude? I think you are. Sorry, carry on, dude.
I was going to say we had loads of viewers before Lax turned up, and then as soon as Lax turned up, everyone fucked off because we started going nuts.
Fun. Though.
Lax, are you a dude or are you a girl? You've got 5 seconds to let us know because we're going to go. But thanks very much for stopping by, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm a guy. Cool, right, sweet. Thanks very much. And dude, any closing comments, dude? You see us out. You see us out, dude. I'm out.
Thank you for the 5 likes and the 10 dislikes. It's great that people are interacting in any way that they do. It's always a pleasure to come on here and speak about Dragon Ball Super after the episode's aired. And you got people like you, Lax224, who've contributed. Thank you to everybody else that's contributed in the comments. We had Jordan Campini, Jet Goku, I think it was, and just others. It's always, we don't do it for the big fame or anything. We're big fans. We enjoy talking about the series, and we'll do the same. We'll be back again next week after the episode. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. It's bye from me, Dargaroth, and this.
It's bye from me. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you.